Hey everybody, this is Lloyd Irvin and I'm super excited to share something with you today. I'm calling the Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick. For the very first time in the last 16 years, I've never shown this to anyone outside my school. Within my school, I've probably shown in the last 16 years probably 30 people, and out of those 30 people, only 3 people in the last 16 years have ever done this. What this leg lock stick is going to allow you to do is going to teach you how to break someone's legs. It's going to teach you how to catch someone in a hold and not get tired. Because let me tell you this, one of the fears about doing leg locks, just like triangles, you do a triangle, people, you burn your legs out. Same thing with a leg lock. You go for a leg lock, you go against somebody who's tough and they're not tapping and you burn yourself out, then your arms are burnt out for the rest of the match and things can go bad. But what I'm going to show you right now, I'm going to show you how to build a Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick. I'm going to give you a way at the end of this video. Throughout this video, I'm going to let you go to LloydIrvinLegLockStick.com. That's LloydIrvinLegLockStick.com. All you got to do is enter your name and email address in. And for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to give you emails and show you exactly how to use this. I'm going to tell you the amount of reps to do it. I'm going to tell you how long to hold it. I'm going to tell you what to do on your left arm. I'm going to tell you what to do on your right arm. I'm going to show you some of my favorite holds. I'm going to show you my V hold. I'm going to show you one of the strongest straight ankle lock holds there is in the world. But like I said, I'm going to give you a 6-week training absolutely free. All you got to do is go to LloydIrvinLegLockStick.com. After you watch this video, I'm going to show you how to make the leg lock stick first. But let me tell you this about leg locks. When you do a leg lock, in class you have some people who tap from pain. The way I do my leg locks, and the way I teach my students to do leg locks, and the way everyone throughout the world should do leg locks, you should do the leg locks to break. Let me do a disclaimer here. Like, you should consult with a physician, you should talk to your instructor. What I'm teaching you here is only for people at a high level, and like I said, I do not authorize anyone to go out. I'm not telling anyone to go out and break legs, but I'm saying at a professional level, you have to do a submission hold with the intent to break a leg and the pressure to break a leg, because if you do not, what's going to happen is you get used to people in class tapping from just pressure, tapping because it hurts. And trust me this, in 1989 I was in Brazil. 1999 I was in Brazil, and I competed in what we call the team championship, where brown belts get to fight black belts and brown and blacks are on teams. It's a team championship. And I was competing against a guy from Gracie Barra, and I caught him in a leg lock. I was down 9-0. I caught him in a leg lock. I switched to the V. I switched to my other hold. Then I switched to what I consider the tightest straight ankle, besides angleology. I'm not going to talk about that now. But outside of angleology, I caught him in the strongest straight ankle lock that I know. I'm going to show you that once you go to LloydIrvinLegLock.com, LloydIrvinLegLockStick.com, and get the free video. I'm going to share that with you throughout the 6-week lessons. But I caught him in this position. And I looked at him, his face was stoic, not making any expression. And my position is strong. And most people at this point would tap, and the key thing is this, I know he may be holding on. And then he looked at me and I put my final hip and the pressure on it, and next thing I know, I heard his whole entire foot just rip. He went brrrr. He looked at me, he was like, and he didn't tap. He came up and he got out, and then we kept working, and I ended up losing, but he couldn't continue because I broke his foot. But the point is, because of this leg lock stick, I'm going to show you how to make, and at my website I'm going to share with you how to use, how to increase your leg lock holds, how to increase your power, how to increase everything about leg lock holds for straight ankles. This is only for straight ankles, not going into heel hooks right now. All right, so right now I'm going to share with you right now how to make this stick. So first, you have to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, anywhere like that, and pick up a stick. This cost me, I think, like $3 or $4. Then you're gonna need some duct tape. I got different colors: purple, red, yellow, black, gray. Depending, you may want to be silly and make a stick your school colors, your logo colors, whatever. You may have a favorite color, whatever it does. It doesn't matter. The color of the stick does not matter. But I have these so you can see that you can use different ones. And then you need to stop by the paper and pick up some paper. So I got today's paper. I got Whitey Bulger, convicted on 31 counts in Boston. Crazy stuff. All right, so you have this paper, and what we're going to do, we're going to take one sheet like this. We'll put it down. I'm going to put it up here like this. You're going to give yourself some room, and then we're just going to fold it. Once you fold it, let me get some tape. Another tape. These aren't ready. That set right there, you're going to tape it all the way right now. The next sheet. Come up. I'll tell you right now, if you use this stick and create it and practice it like I'm going to share with you over the next 6 weeks, you are going to be able to take your leg lock ability to an all new level. And right now, even if you have a strong hold right now, this is going to teach you and allow you to make your hold much stronger. I'm going to give you the entire protocol. Have you ever tried to leg lock somebody in class or a tournament? Went for the leg lock. You may have heard the leg pop. Maybe they didn't hear it pop, but they didn't tap. And then you were burnt out, tired, fatigued. Well, that will all be solved with the Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick right here. The Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick will solve all your problems. I wanted to do something real cool for everybody in the grappling world. That's why I'm doing this 6-week free training. I'm gonna share with you my exact holds that I'm doing. I'm gonna give you the protocols, the systems. And at the end of the video, I'm also going to share with you, I'm going to bring one of my students who's one of the 3 that has done it in the entire 16 years, and share with you what he calls the Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick 2.0. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. So what you're doing with the newspaper, you're trying to take the newspaper and get to a point where it's the size of someone's ankle when you squeeze it. Well, not there right now. So you keep on going. Use the Washington Times. You keep on going until you get to the size of an average person's ankle. If you're a really big guy, you're going against big guys, or in competition you're going to go against really big guys, you want to get the ankle to the point of all the normal size of a big person. Now this is starting to get close. Now right here, once I start getting close, the key thing is for me to tighten it down. Let me see if I can get this here real quick. I want to tighten it down so that I can see if it's really close to the person's ankle size. So now I'm here. I'm going to tight. Now right here, like I'm putting pressure to make it tight. I want to test it real quick. Once you do this, and I get it down tight as I can, then I put another layer down. So I need one more layer. I just know how it feels. Do one more layer. Here. Make sure when you tight at this point, squeeze it tight. Nice and tight. I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna work wonders for you, because I'm not sure about you, but besides triangles, leg locks are definitely one of those positions that if you don't do correctly and you burn yourself out and then you're not able to make the person tap, it's hard to recover in a match. Some people are in a situation in MMA fights where they clearly have the ability to go for a leg lock. They're a little bit tired in the match, but because of the fear or the thought about burning themselves out, they don't go for it. And if they went for it, they would have caught it and would end the match. That's why you have guys like who are real leg lockers that always go for leg locks. They just believe in it. And sometimes even them, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Sometimes they get in a situation where they burn themselves out. I'm not sure what type of drills they're doing. If they're using something like the Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick. But if you, I promise you this, if you use the Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick and do it just like I'm going to show you over the next 6 weeks, you have great success, not only in finishing it, but not getting burnt out. And when you have the confidence not to get burnt, that you're not going to burn out, it makes you go harder with the leg holds. I'm going to show you some drills that you can do that will make your leg holds 10 times more pressure for the ultimate purpose of what? If your opponent doesn't tap, they have to break. So now I'm pretty close. I'm good. I feel good. So right now I have this room. So right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lock down the bottom half. Nice and tight like this. Right here. See, I'm moving down to the stick now. Yeah, press it in. Nice and tight. Now at the bottom taken care of, so it's not sliding down anymore. Same thing with the top part. Lock that in. Start here, put pressure down. Right now it's very important you put a lot of pressure here. Squeeze it down. Squeeze it down more. Have that down nice and tight. Squeeze this down. So I've now locked in the top and bottom. We're locked. We're not moving anymore. So now we come to the middle part. Time to lock the stick in. Put it out here for you. A lot of my students were angry that I was finally going to show this, but what? I don't care right now because I've been showing this for 16 years in-house on my own team. Everyone loves it. Everyone that plays with one of the guys' sticks, they see the benefit of it, but they don't do it. That's one of the problems when you're trying to get people to do stuff. Only 3% of the population will ever do it. So I'm going to share this with the entire world. I already know less than 3% of the population that watch this video will go out, make a Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick, Go back home and practice it. For the next 6 weeks, I'm gonna send you 1 video per week. I may send you a couple emails, outline some other things, but you will get 1 video per week for 6 weeks, where I show you my different leg lock holds. I'm gonna tell you exactly how to do it, so you don't have to guess. You don't know, well, should I do it for 30 seconds? Should I do it for 20 seconds? What, should I do 10 seconds on and 5 seconds off? Should I do 10 seconds on, 5 seconds off? Like, you don't have to guess. I'm gonna share with you exactly the most efficient and most effective way to do it, to practice it. If you follow my emails, going to www.theLloydIrvinLeglockStick.com, enter your name and email address, you'll be receiving the 6-week online training, how to use the Lloyd Irvin Leg Lock Stick. If you follow my advice, I guarantee you this, in 6 weeks, however strong your leg locks are right now, are gonna be 10,000 times stronger. On top of that, in the first 90 days, I promise you, your leg lock game will change forever. So right now, as you can see, I can come down, I can get more fancy, I can make it prettier, but you get the point. So, right here, you have a Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick. So what I want you to do right now, before I bring on my student and show you the Lloyd Irvin Leg Lock Stick 2.0, I want you to go to www.theLloydIrvinLeglockStick.com. That's theLloydIrvinLeglockStick.com. Enter your name and email address in there so you can begin our 6-week online virtual training from Lloyd Irvin, the grappling coach, aka the grappling renegade. So I'm gonna bring right back. I'm gonna bring my student on and we'll continue this lesson. All right, like I said, I'm gonna bring my student. This is Lenny Maggio. For those, some people know him. This is the leg lock stick I showed you, the Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick. I showed you how to make it. I did it with 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 7 minutes, however long it took. So I'm gonna throw this out now. And this is what he calls the Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick 2.0. But you see the 2.0 here. But I have some complaints with it, and I'm going to give you my positioning on it. So first of all, Lenny, how you doing today?
Pretty good, sir.
Lenny is very well versed in the straight ankle. He's fell in love with the leg locks, but there's a problem. Lenny, you've been training for a long time here at Lloyd Irvin Martial Arts Academy, and you've heard me talk about the leg lock stick. How many years did it take for you to hear me talk about the leg lock stick and see me with the leg lock stick and talk about how valuable the leg lock stick is before you actually applied it?
It was definitely a few years, at least 3 or 4 maybe, before I actually maybe 5 years, right? And then there was a tournament. I think was it the Worlds or Pan Ams? I think it was Worlds.
All right, so Worlds, we're in the Worlds, second, third match, whatever, and he had the guy in the hold. He catches the hold. It should be over.
Should be over.
What happened?
It wasn't over.
It wasn't over. And when it wasn't over, and like there's no problem. Sometimes people get out. There's no problem. There's no guarantee of anything. But once it was over and the guy was no longer in the leg lock, at this point, the guy was out, and now you continue doing jiu-jitsu. But Lenny wasn't able to continue doing jiu-jitsu because he was too
burnt out.
Tired. He was burnt out. And when after the end of the match he lost and his day was over, the entire year working towards the world was over. And when he came to the side, he looked at me like, I gotta get leg lock stick. And I was like, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Because not saying the leg lock stick would have had him win the world championships or have him win whatever he was doing, but I guarantee you, I promise you that it would have had him not burning out from that leg lock. So what Lenny has done, talk about a little what you did here a little bit.
Well, it's pretty much the same exact thing you did already. I just added like this foam insulation.
Foam insulation.
Just kind of like mimic like a muscle.
A muscle.
So it's that on top of this, plus the wrap, the newspaper wrap over top of that, and it's really, really tight too, by the way.
Yeah, so as you see, it's a tighter, but see, the reason he calls it 2.0, and the reason I disagree with it, is because of this. Right now, when you go to the LloydIrvinLeglockStick.com and enter your name and email address in there, and you get the lessons for the next 6 weeks, you're going to realize that I do not want you to have any cushion. I want you going straight through the tape, straight through the newspaper, directly to this wooden stick. Get your arm. So so we can condition. So if you do Muay Thai, you know how you kick the bag, kick the bag, kick the bag, and over time your shins get conditioned. I need your arm, depending on you'll see once you start receiving my 6 week lessons where I like to put my placement and so forth. But wherever we put our placement, we need to build condition for that part of our arm. We have to build condition so that we can apply that without hurting ourselves. Because when you first start with the Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna feel pain, you're gonna feel pressure. And like I said, only use this at your own, like make sure you consult a doctor and talk to them before you start using Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick. This is only, this is only for what I'm supposed to say, what now? This is only for demonstration purposes. I do not recommend that you actually go get a stick. Like I said, if you do it you're doing it on your own accord, and whatever happens to you, happens to you. But listen, if you decide to do it, you're gonna have pain in those spots.
Here.
You got pain in your spots. And then over time, with week 1 and week 2 and week 3 and week 4, the pain will go, and now you can apply that pressure. The pain is only transferring to your opponent's leg. It's an amazing thing. Like I said, I'll talk about this a lot more in detail. I'll talk about little tiny intricacies. You'll find the system, but just go to that website, enter your name and email address, and you'll get that information. But please do not go get a rubber thing right away. Now, it's fine for Lenny though, because Lenny already did the original one. Right. And if you do the original one and now your arms are numb and you're fine, then it's okay if you want to do this, make it tighter and so forth, and start doing some of your holds. If you start doing advanced angelology, a lot of different things, it's fine. Now, you can take this Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick and modify it however you want to do it. There's lots of ways. I just want to show you a basic way that you can take duct tape, a $3-4 stick. You might have one in your school right now. You may have one at your house. You take a plunger, anything that's a stick. It doesn't have to be this long. But once we're doing our 6 week training, you'll see why I like going with this length, because we'll incorporate our leg. We'll be able to hook it. We'll be able to triangle it. We'll be able to do lots of different things. Where if you only have a stick where you're just working on your arm grip, then you won't have that ability to play your legs. It's very important to play with your legs. Okay. So with that being said, I hope you go and get a stick, get some duct tape, get some newspaper, and make yourself a Lloyd Irvin leg lock stick. And most importantly, make sure you go to my website to join me for 6 weeks of training. I already tell you this, only 3% of the population of the world will ever do that. But I guarantee you this, the 3% of the population that actually does this will take their leg lock holds and their conditioning and their stability with their holds to an entire different level. With that being said, this is Lloyd Irvin, aka the grappling coach, the grappling renegade. Peace.